Welcome to Cash and Guns Shelfside Tutorial Edition. If you're here from the review, enjoy the show. But if you didn't even know that we had a review, go ahead and check it out if you're interested. Link somewhere on the screen. Anyways, on with the explanation. Here's how to shoot each other with foam guns. To set up, everyone is going to get guns. Everyone get guns. You get all your guns. Enjoy the gun. Next, everyone is going to get 3 of these red bang cards from the bullet deck, and then 5 of these click cards. Next, everyone's going to pick a character, which is purely cosmetic and has no effect on the gameplay. Lastly, you're going to decide who is going to be the Godfather. I personally like giving the Godfather table to whoever's the oldest at the table. You can do whatever you want, just make sure someone gets it. But you're gonna give them the token of the table, which is a smaller one, not the actual table. The table goes in the middle. The game takes place over the course of 8 rounds, but there's no individual player turns, just those rounds. A round has 7 phases in it. The first phase requires that you take your loot deck, with all your cash, in it. You flip over 8 cards in the middle of the table. You put them right there in front of that Godfather table that's in the middle. Next, each player is going to look at their hand of bullet cards, and they're going to decide whether they want their gun to be loaded or not, depending on whether you pick a bang or a click. Once you've made your choice, you're going to put that card face down in front of you. Take your gun, point it up, elbow down the table, look around very sternly. This is how you let people know that you are ready. You are ready to go. Once everyone has done this, that the Godfather checks you are all ready to go, the Godfather is going to count to 3. And on 3, everyone must simultaneously point their gun at another player and hold it on that target for the rest of the round.
3, 2, 1.
Ah! Oh. Now, with everyone pointing their guns at someone, the Godfather does another count to 3. But this time on 3, everyone decides if they're going to put their gun down or not. Yeah, I know, it's kind of weird, right? This here is super important because this is where a lot of the tension of the game happens, right? This is where you start to wonder, oh, frick, that other guy was pointing a gun at me. Is it loaded? Is it a bang? Is it a click? Is it worth the risk to gamble just because I want the loot? Can I afford to take a boo-boo right now? Once you made your decision, whether you want to back down or not, the Godfather once more counts to 3. Everyone at the table decides whether they want to back down or stay in during that countdown. And once that number hits 3, you gotta immediately stay there or drop the gun. Okay, 3, 2, 1. At this point, the people who have backed down also knock down their character to indicate that they won't be participating in the looting. They then discard the bullet card they put face down, bang or click, doesn't matter. You discard it face down into the discard pile. Afterwards, you resolve what's going on with everyone who still has their guns out. So first, everyone who has a gun pointed at someone who backed down discards their bullet card, because if you are pointing at someone who backed down, there's no one to shoot, so throw that bullet away. Then, everyone else flips over their bullet card and you resolve everything simultaneously. So remember, that clicks do nothing. If someone has a gun pointed at you, nothing happens. It's all chill. But if you're in and you got a gun trained on you and they put down a bang, you're getting a boo-boo. That's 1 damage. 1 life out of 3. Fair warning though, these bangs can stack. What do I mean by that? So let's say that someone has 2 guns pointed at me and they both happen to put in bangs. That would mean I would take 2 damage. Remember that everyone has 3 points of health, so imagine if there were 3 guns pointing at me. I would be pretty dead if I stayed in. Next, players who have suffered damage, ergo, they got shot, they took a boo-boo, also cannot participate in the looting. So, after they get their boo-boo tokens, they lay down their character, just like those who backed out to indicate that they aren't participating. Finally, to the last phase, looting. For everyone who is left standing, they get to partake in the glory of the cash part of Cash and Guns. Starting with the Godfather and and going clockwise, each player participating in the looting, ergo people who don't have their character cards or character stand-ups knocked down, gets to select one piece of loot from the 8 in the middle and they add it to their collection in front of them, face down. If the Godfather isn't participating because they got shot or they backed down, you keep going clockwise until you start with someone who is participating. You're gonna repeat this clockwise motion of players still participating, each one taking one piece of loot from the middle until there is no loot left in the middle. Once that happens, you go on to the next round, flip over 8 new loot cards from the main deck, and begin a new round. Now I'm also going to quickly go over what all the different types of loot do so you know what you're trying to take. So first, you got your cash up front. It's worth what it says. Next, you got your paintings, which have a neat little gimmick to them. So paintings are worth more if you have more paintings. Each painting has a nice little guide on the bottom of them to indicate their value. So here's how you read this. If we look at the 3, meaning you have 3 paintings, it says $30,000 in front of it. The 4 says $60,000. This is the amount of money you get in total for having that amount of paintings. So if you have 3 paintings, you don't get $30,000 for each of them individually for $90,000 total. It's just 3 paintings for $30,000 total. And next, you got your diamonds, which are usually worth much less than the paintings and the cash on their own. But at the end of the game, the player with the most amount of diamond cards gets the big bonus diamond, which is worth $60,000. Remember though, for the diamond bonus, it's the most amount of diamond cards, not value. So, someone with 3 $1,000 diamonds worth a measly $3,000 total still gets the bonus over someone with 2 diamond cards worth $10,000 total, because 3 is more than 2. Also, if there's a tie for most diamond cards, no one gets the bonus. Get out of here, you greedy diamond grabbing bastards. Lastly, we have ammo cards and first aid cards. So taking the ammo card lets you take one of these bang cards from the discard pile and add it to your hand, effectively giving you more shots than you would have otherwise been able to have throughout the course of the game. While the first aid kit lets you remove all your boo-boo tokens, which is essentially a full heal. Actually, wait, there's one more thing. Remember I was talking about how you put the Godfather table in the middle of the table? You can also take the Godfather table, or not take it, you flip it over to indicate that someone is now the new Godfather. That person who just flipped it takes the Godfather token from whoever had it before. They're not a new Godfather. Say hello to them. But when you do this, this doesn't affect the loot in any way. So you don't need to take all 8 loot cards and then flip the table to start the next round. Just all the loot. Once you play all 8 rounds, or there's only 1 player left, the game ends. All surviving players, so not people with the 3 boo-boos, sorry, count out their total money. Remember to award that bonus diamond within that too. And then whoever has the most money wins the game. Also, if only 1 player survived, they immediately win the game. So last thing, there's a variant of the game where you give players one of these power cards so that everyone has unique abilities. But I've personally found this to be pretty unbalanced and kind of convoluted. But if you played this game a crap ton, then they're pretty good for spicing things up. Totally optional to use otherwise. Thanks for watching our explanation about how to play Cash and Guns. There's going to be a link somewhere around here to bring you back to the review, but otherwise, for the rest of you people just trying to figure out how to play this game, you all have a nice day. Go shoot your friends. Have a good time.